Hello guys, this is Constantine here, and we're going to be doing a game on the wonderful Metalopolis between MTW Dimaga and Tarson. And once again, not really sure where these games are coming from. They must be from MLG Rally because I've seen a lot of similar players. We've already watched Dimaga and Tarson play, and there are no crazy Korean characters, so I'm just going to guess that they're from the MLG tournament. But I do not, in fact, care. If they are from the latter, I will take them and I will cast them happily. Apparently someone dropped recently. Always not fun when the pro game ends because someone dropped. That is an unfortunate side effect of playing games that are not, in fact, real and are based on internet myth. And so we have Dimaga moving out with his Overlord. Going to be a little sad that he can't do the little sneaky scout and return with his Overlord. We're going to see if Tarson... Yeah, look at this. Look at these. These pros are so crazy. Tarson just moved his SCV over here just to see if in fact Zerg was scouting him and doing that little strategy. So Dimaga, if he in fact was at the close air proximity bases, he would not have been able to secretly scout him. Little interesting things to think about. Stuff that pretty much a standard normal StarCraft 2 player would never do because they're not psychotically good at this game, myself included. So we have Dimaga throwing down a really early gas. That gas is so early. It was actually finished before he started the spawning pool. So I'm not really sure what he's doing. Maybe that was just a timing mistake on his part, because I think he's going to even have more than 100 gas whenever that spawning pool finishes. He might just pull them out of gas as soon as he gets it and just say to himself, doesn't really matter when I get the 100 gas as long as I get it. Or he might keep them in there and try and get speedlings out plus a really fast tech to a lair, or even maybe he could be going for some kind of baneling play. So Tarson here, as we saw in the last game, playing against. Holy shit! There's a giant bug in my room. It's just a grasshopper. I can stop acting girly and being scared. Wow, it's a big-ass grasshopper. Anyway, sorry, back to the game here. So he has definitely pulled his guys out of gas once he got that metabolic boost down, but he's left one in. I like this because it'll allow him to work on his macro, but when he wants to upgrade his hatchery to a lair, he will probably just have enough money because one worker mining gas is still going to get you enough gas for that thing. And I don't know, if any of you are aware, I have rabbits and they just managed to escape from a cage that I built for them. I'm a little surprised at that because I turn around and my rabbit is sitting on my bed. That's not good, but anyway. Sorry, I promise there will be no more interruptions in this game. I swear it on, I don't know, on Callicles' grave. So we have the same play that we saw a couple games ago, where the scouting SCV gets away with 10 health, and the Marines that run out to meet him just barely save his life and take out some Zerglings. And so we have Dimaga throwing down a very fast hatchery relative to the fact that he got this little combination of extractor spawning pool so early. And he's making a second queen, so in the style of Idra, going to be throwing his first queen down here to have just enough energy, or maybe he's going to be a little bit low on energy whenever that finishes. But we do have a Hellion out on the way right now, and I'm not too sure if this is going to be that big of a deal because he has 2 queens already, and 1 Hellion and 2 queens isn't that troublesome, especially if he can block the ramp with this queen here. And the Zerglings already have speed down, so it really isn't going to cause too much of a problem. Although he's only got 1 drone at the expansion, so looks like Hellion is going to be moving up the ramp, and it's always good when you have one. I don't really like moving right through the mineral line. I mean, yeah, sure, he's getting a really good scout, and he sees that the hatchery is going down, the lair's going down. He's got the second gas going down. He knows he's not really going to be able to get any drone kills with this one. He's going to get that 1 kill, and then he should be able to get out of here with his life. In the meantime, we have Zerglings moving around at the entrance. He's not going to be able to make his way in. Sorry, I said there were no distractions, but my rabbit is just running around like a retard. He's just sprinting in circles. Meanwhile, there's a cricket in the corner that's literally jumping into the wall and ramming, excuse me. He's not raping his own head. He's ramming his head into the wall. So much in the same fashion that Zerg plays against Terran, with the ramming of their own head into the wall, because it's pretty much all these Zerglings could do right now against this nice wall in. We're going to be returning back to this game, and looks like we don't have any tech coming out of Dimaga yet, and there is a Banshee on the field heading over to the base in this direction right here. It's a little bit of a two-pronged attack, although this Overlord is going to be able to scout that. So he should be able to move this Queen up to be ready for it, and let's see, there is no cloak down. Another medevac's on the way, so this Banshee is not going to do anything except maybe delay the macro out of this second hatchery for a little while. And so it looks as though Dimaga is going to be in great position. What is this, a Spire going down? Did Tarson see that Spire? No, in fact, he did not see it, and so he's not going to know that he needs to get Thors out very quickly. And he's also only got one factory right now, and he seems to be committing pretty heavily to tanks at the moment. So this could be a little bit of an issue for him. He does have medevac and a medevac out with a fairly good number of Marines, but the fact that Dimaga is working really hard on two bases, and he's really committing all of his gas to these units, these gas units here. He's only got 4 mutas out now, but with these 4 gases up, he's probably going to be able to get a larger muta army than Tarson is Marines. So he's going to be getting some missile turrets now. This is that pro timing that we all know about. Just putting missile turrets in places that you would never put, or I would never put, rather. I don't know if you're that good, but I'm definitely not. And you just put down these turrets. They put down these turrets in these places that just are so effective. And when I turret, I end up throwing like 5 right in here, and then I still lose because somehow they find the one gap that I have. But the thing that's nice about turreting against Mutalisks is because mutas only have a range of 3, you really don't have to do that like triangle shaped thing that you have to do against Banshees and Void Rays, and then still lose because Banshees and Void Rays are so good. So with the Mutalisks, it's not that big of a deal. You just throw them in your mineral line, and there's no way that they can harass the mineral line without getting hit. As well as it's great to put them in your mineral line because it's really easy to surround this with a repair whenever your SCVs get there. So the mutas are going to come in, they're going to scout that tower or that turret, and they're going to do a good job of backing away. And I should be expecting an armory going down like right here somewhere. It's going to be hitting that eBay, which is a really strong decision to do. Just because you take it out, it's going to delay his ability to make more turrets. He's really good players generally are still scouting late in the game with SCVs, and so Tarson's going to come into the main. He's going to try and get as much scouting in as he can, and he sees the Baneling nest already down, so he knows that Banelings are going to be a transition that Dimaga is going to be moving to after he has these mutas. And it looks like in response, Tarson's throwing down a lot more Raxes, and probably going to be seeing a lot of Marines out of this. The siege tanks with Marines are great with Banelings as long as you don't catch them, or as long as you don't let them be caught out of siege mode. Unsiege siege tanks pretty much worthless against Banelings, but siege ones pretty much the end of Banelings because the splash damage is going to do so much. Oh, wow, the cricket is so retarded. He just flipped on his back and he's now stuck. I think he has no arms. It literally is a cricket with no arms in my room. Anyway, so these mutas are moving around. They're actually doing a pretty good job of harassing. He's pulled a couple Marines back. He's going to get a nice little surround with these Marines. I don't know if he's going to have enough to take these out. So he's done a really good job with these mutas. He's going to try and get this tank now. Meanwhile, the Terran, I don't really like that stim. He was going to lose that tank anyway, and now he's got to heal through all of that stim damage. And in the meanwhile, Dimaga has built up the most massive army of Banelings I have seen in a while. There is a full control group of Banelings here, and some, as well as a good army of Zerglings. Always need those Zerglings to help clean up after the Banelings move in. Oh, and this is just going to be brutal. Although, looks like the Banelings are going to get focus fired, and they're actually going to pretty much get taken out. So I really don't like how he moved in with those Banelings from up here. I would have liked to see the Banelings come in from over here, because his only real retreating option was down in this direction. I mean, he could have retreated this way, but if he retreats that way, he's going to leave his tanks vulnerable to just the Zerglings. whereas when he retreated this way, the Marines could still support them. And so he lost a lot of banelings there to siege tank fire, because the siege tanks were not actually firing on each other by hitting the Zerglings. They were focus firing on the banelings, which is what you need to do with those tanks in that situation. You need to kill the banelings with the last dying breath of each tank. And so he did a really good job of that, and because of that, he still has more than a full control group of Marines, and he's got a ridiculously large number of Raxes. There's even 4 reactors going down and 1 tech lab, and that's going to allow him to get 9 Marines per cycle. It's just ridiculous. And in the meanwhile, he's still only got 1 factory pumping out tanks and 1 starport pumping out medevacs. I would like to see another starport with a tech lab start pumping out Ravens. They're really not all that great against this composition, but they're so good with point defense drone against Mutalisks, just because Mutalisks with point defense drone used against them are very, very, very effective. It's mostly due to the fact that Mutalisks have such a short range. You can put a point defense drone relatively